Meribia bebeka se obi be bata ho a bebeka se no bata ho na yire. In law, each case must be considered on its own merit. Na lawyer for person say asembia safwa no untimi mfa yini pono bia asembia safwa asembia pono e wona safwa asembia pono e wona safwa ntimo amogetum se na se no me ma kire madwene anya timdidie me chese na judge na kan no looking at the facts and the circumstances mejitum se na judge na kan no Odo Broni may decide to appeal or Akwesha Sewa may decide to appeal. There's nothing wrong. You are watching me from Abuja, no, Medase. There is nothing wrong. The BBN say, BBN. But you know, interesting aspect of case we know MC nipa bebre enim ne say. Nsama no kase bia bapa o. Na am say omo file no na no Jordan say na otwene ochina. You are hearing from US so me now say. Kase na aba no enu nie. The Bempoma Yapoku and ebinim kan ho wo mom ye Lumba nua ane Lumba wo fase pa. Yes, okay, me that's why I watch it from Spain. Or mom so akosamane Abusuapanin. And I'm surprised say we no dey mom ayi mfidie no nyina o mon kan kire mo amutie mi no me kama mwate say it has come to my knowledge and attention say Lumba nuama any Lumba wofa ya pokunu wo ma saman Abusuapanin no. It is very, very important. Now, ayemi hu say after judgment na no ekosi nra Abusuapanin no call UTV no. I mean, unkama wiase obi ante. But I'm speaking authoritatively as a lawyer. Lawyer no your friend George Opon. George Opon no na saman. Wasaman Abusuapanin no. Wasaman home na omde Lumba funu e wono. And a cow bank. This is very, very important. And because Odo Broni ne Akwesha Sewa de ndie hia, but na yekuna de. Na yekuna de. Be we de hwan be yayi, hwan be organize yayi, hwan be de funu no. Lumba nuama. Eno na wofa. Wo masaman Abusuapanin. You know, in law, say you can't family. You can't family. You are the vital family and the immediate family. I can't follow. You are Busiano, kakraka. You are Busiano. The immediate family, if okay, Olenu and Woodmana. Olenu ni Woodman okay. And most of the bush. Okay, Olenu Woodman, you talk about College, you talk about Dankwa Buzier's book. The wider family and the immediate family. The immediate family ni chocho kwikasa meka chocho mucho. Chocho mucho. And in law, and by the account customer, chocho mucho nun sanya kakraka for no ma. Chocho mucho nun sanya kakraka for no ma. Why da no ma? And therefore, the issue now no, ya pokunu ne bempoma no mo chese wo mo na ye chocho mucho to Lumba. and therefore Lumba ye nhyehyeye baabi a bebededa no baabi a bebebonsa hwan na behwe sika so eye twotwomuchu no. It is not the wider abusuapanyin Kofi Usu or Usu no edano no. Being hanim you me da me boa ngomasua say tiefo mo bete ne yekoso because as of enran adwo no ana wo mo ye UTV program no nobody mention it. Omo an wo mo host omo an wo nobody mention it, and I even don't know me ni say bi kra na papa she do kra ya we. So for the consumption me come mo nyina mo ate say amanso ntare bi da ho na lawyer judge upon cry application for injunction ebeba so 8th December 8th December now omo de injunction bi akọ serve from funeral home no enti funeral home no ntimi nyi fununu ma obia nobody. This is without prejudice Mr. Wa kosia sa wa Odo Broni ho tim akosia sa wa tim Odo Broni ho tim Abusuapanin ho tim kwatwopoku me de without prejudice men come bia men kan tan bia ehia because it's an opportunity amenya ese me magana fo bebere mu because of run adwo no na wa wo hwe UTV program no wa adwene ne say 13 December no de kra ebebaso. I am saying it authoritatively without prejudice. So amanso no kra dem say tare which perhaps may end at the Supreme Court. Nti nyasem ketwa eno nti na me de emerewe for education and a lawyer no so upon minimum no and for everybody so be who say na san ye wi Odo Broni ene akwesi asewa asem na me maka se me de me peneso eye me maka se me nko ade mreye that decision no eye. But the other aspect of it as a mama sote something is happening because ebinum ma ebinum hu ne yakoso omo ye no na no nti ba ukuada no na o ma serve eti na no fie da na o mo ye wieye no and perhaps when we were interviewing the Abusuapanin no you should have said it. When we were interviewing Papa she should have said it. When we were interviewing lawyer for akwesi sewa na is a lawyer no so na nka so ka mo a una mo interview team Odo Broni legal team na say so omo ka because they are aware, all of them are aware. None obia ntimi nka nchem so onya aware na no fie da na Abusuapanin no o ma 700. Anyway, so for the consumption of amamfo na ni America ama mason atino me dey I don't take his size over bia we say or Switzerland say business show me Iraq. Hey, I see o show me Iraq and everything Yankopon ase and dan nyame ase dan Yankopon ase nyame so kan ho or Iraq. So that is it. That is the first issue. The next issue, well, I stand to be educated. Me te say asem no call otumfo asante hene ho. Na otumfo asante hene de ma dade so aba. Na niesi no. O ma bo asante hene ma ne de. It's also an issue. Huh? It's also an issue. Obviously, can an appeal change the issue? No, I don't want to go there. Kasai, I the remember near here and say, I say, Yama, ye say, amount some tyrene, be kura efrasi, and tyrene, efrasi, and kuradia. Now they have filed an application to injunct the funeral home, injunct Abusuapanin. So I don't grant a tyrene. Min kan wasem. Adishade enana mpesemi. So that is it. But let me go on to the coup Guinea-Bissau. And I said it on Rainbow Radio. Yeah, Obiabisa fresh evidence. My fresh evidence in law. It will be difficult to be given the opportunity so my fresh evidence. And yes, but there are certain exceptional circumstances. And yes, yes, dear, Mama, yam fa, yam coho. Possible, but meresa. Now, let's talk about the coup in Guinea-Bissau. Rainbow Radio frame my comment media if you say in history and sana yebe Jesus Christ crown na ye wo kasa bi a be sin those who make peaceful change impossible, they make violent change inevitable. Na eyemi hu se sabi o Mr. Meka ebinum say wa moye bloggers ebinum say you ka asem say ya then hey no onsua de that blogger na o ka sa de na o ka ku asem no onsua de onima de ompehu ye. That has been the position of humanity. Those who make peaceful change impossible, they make violent change inevitable. Niki no say ba bem pese bem man sesa nsakiraye eba na be gina so yetintintininti tawe no se bem man sesa nsakira maboko asundwem no bediyone eba fie tina mpanfo bu wi se nyode ahwede eba fie no na de wanse na bae ita Yesu ansana beba wu Yesu 2000 Yesu be 2025 years now. That is the position of the law. So please, Mr. Blogger, I can't say no. I am with the say I can't cool asem. Please, you are a blogger. Sia, near Fred be ancient regime. Louis the 16th also l'état c'est moi. Manana ya media. At the revolution by. In Ghana, by 1964-65, no more to make Ghana one party state. And in the 1966 coup, no, a buy. And the UK, there have been an English revolution. Before 1200, English revolution. Mr. Blogger, Pebibisio, Tie. Na monya mo blogger asem na mo dia chese motewa chese wo abandon. In England there have been an English revolution. Betwa hene no ti. In America there have been a revolution. American War of Independence. War revolution, War of Independence no yakunu wiase fede ansa na ba wu Yesu. Ansana ye wu Yesu ni ye wu Yesu su wie yi eno so egusu sa dabia ba bibia enti ote service o could there will be a thing of the past, will be a thing of the past, but here na ye mesere so the ahwede ba fie nko ade a wanse na beba, whether it is Asia, whether it is Africa, whether look ayeda na America when Donald Trump lost ayadena the capital anka na nyaku na binum koye sabe blogger wanya bundle nti obribu ahenkasa chese wo mpe bibi ati afrimonti seti nsimu na oka please bundle na wo no ma wonya twompianta wo na ye me no kasa nyina na nyina yegusu da so sua okositi TV our program, we are interview paying for. Tambia, I follow it. Me tie paying for. I learn. Now, no other than so called Larabanga villager, Larabanga town. Yamawin si Christo asondan wo. Me suya me kanye Larabanga. Just about 2-3 days ago, na me kan hu ye. Yes, you can. Wo de why blogger when your band boso me bi no bi atua sika bi atum sabe. Wo mpese obesua de. Wo mpese obehu ade. Please learn. So in Guinea-Bissau now ababa da di say sa whichever way whichever way you look at it. I am just trying. I never said it's a kusi capital. Me so when you see any comments about near jelly bean. It looked like there was going to be a coup. So yes, in Sri Lanka, in Philippines, Marcos, everywhere. So mama who is Tanzania, there can be a coup. Mama who say in Uganda, Bobby Wine or Kwa Nano Kuyada Wamutu ma Bobby Wine supporters be everywhere. So there's a possibility that there can be a coup in Uganda. There's a possibility that there can be a coup in Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire. The term national was the constitution. When the guy said there can never, because what's the constitution? In Guinea there was a coup. So please, answer a baby we issue. Now be seen there all over the world. What I say, all over the world. So please, when we talk about Guinea, there no Bissau there no, whether it was say a year to say be shared. Anabe share da ne ma ne campaign manager na no ye finance minister or na se wa be prime minister. But the bottom line is that there's a change of government, or there was a change of government in Guinea-Bissau, and it was not through the ballot box. In fact, Cameroon cried through the ballot box. No? Cuba, Cameroon, nipa bibiri bejetu. And naturally, wakwa kotena Gambia, the opposition leader. In Tanzania, one chichi opposition for the United. Near Ethical Grants a Guinea-Bissau, now about na president no Olusu. Or no who said no Lusu na pababam. He made that arrangement. But whether that one is true or not, the bottom line said there's a change of government in Guinea-Bissau. And this change of government, those who make peaceful change impossible, they make violent change inevitable. And like I said, it is somebody only mama. No, Jiri se coup there to be a thing of the past all over the Obwa. Even in Turkey, almighty Turkey, the security yet tightening. About 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, Turkey, people plan to stage a coup in Turkey. Mr. Blogger, Turkey no America in country na your friend of Turkey no. So you can me better ha me kasa sepanyini me kasa badwemba me tu amanfofo me kasa. I mean, over my lifestyle are very simple, principled, honest. This only my lifestyle. Yes, obviously Turkey. Yeah, okay. Obviously 2016. Obiama me Turkey the ancestor 2016. So yeah, ba yes, you and the send me mission free be one. So na be so free. Minimum be Germany. Anytime I member bia papa yo ye bia na wajai. Not OTA. Because me chradie pa me kasa chradie. So the cool no aspect na me. So it's a lesson. It is a lesson for all of us in Africa. Yes, you be being free more. Because you are going to say, Cameroon. And you are going to say, make time cite example. Well, Nigeria said, look, Bachi nipa, bedena kosie, fasika brani enyano, Bachi nipa. Just 2 weeks ago, ukikabo manipa ya abducted woman in Nigeria, bedu be 400. Nipa ya abducted woman, ya kidnap woman, bedu 400. Na say ni ya woman ni Bachi nipa bedi besie. Fesi kabra ve kumbi be sha sondani be ye we just nipa no just na ye de ye ho ma tini busa boy ho ba no se benche ye na so ntimi mo ye ho ba no de eni ye na ye. I've never said so, but me just a Tinubu must be very, very careful. The Nigerian government must be very, very careful. Then ye because ya nyahwe ye be yente asem papa free Nigeria. Obi kawe ya obi adidi obi atem. Go and look at Tinubu's campaign. Oye no mrebi. Tinibunum, they were all accusing Jonathan Goodluck. Abduction, a way, a coso, a way, a way. I can't be in Nigeria photo about Pam Jonathan Goodluck. I can't be in Nigeria photo about Pam Jonathan Goodluck. And now, Tinubu predecessor Buhari by Abababet. So this is common sense. This is common knowledge. This is common sense. This is common knowledge. Or go to Venezuela. Look at what is happening in Venezuela. Maduro, Koshenia Bosso in Venezuela. Mr. Blogger, what Venezuela did you crada? I can't now church the diatem. Mr. Blogger, what Venezuela did you? I mean, all over the world. It's a serious thing. So please, my advice is that let's make peaceful change possible. No, you may not like Ghana, Ghana, dear, we be the they are 20 and no way, but this is good. Comparatively, generally, Ghana is far ahead of a lot of places. Far. So comparatively, Ghana is good. But once you have the opportunity to vote and to be voted for. But the fact that Ghana is good doesn't mean, say, hey, Bia, Mesro, Netambia, Yama, Yetinyam, then Yanya, Enye. No, in 1966, when Kwame Nkrumah was Oko Hanoi, no, on Zuarungu, no. Kwame Nkrumah says Zuarungu can home Kwan dear. Obia Intiminya be been to know. Then when the announcement came, say, oh, my cool a true Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah, Kasi Azwarungu, Sani Pabetima Yaku to me. We don't need to be complacent. Mama, and all over Africa. When the names are Arab Spring, a bit in Yaba. Arab Spring, a branch of Bako Pe, or the Petrugun, a share, or Mukusino, a man for started from Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, Libya. Arab Spring, the name of Libya. All over. Is Arab Spring a spread the call Syria domina. Whoever thought, say, Assad of Syria. Bah! Now there will be a revolution to kick him out. Assad. Our bankers. In fact, now we are so more arms power. 182 countries, you know. Open by 50 countries or more arms power. Now Assad can. And so Assad of all people of Syria, and then we're going to call Russia. So we need to learn, we need to study, we need to broaden our horizon. Not just a blogger when you bundle Assad of Syria, what is Syria? I also be some question, so that is what I have been saying. And we need to be very careful. And media, I will still support the Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. With my knowledge and my experience. My knowledge, experience, enemy nimdi, enemy nyamisuru. And the Burkina Faso, koshe. And the Burkina G20 or Mushia or South Africa, I know I'm person invited Burkina Faso. G20. And na kwahwe Burkina Faso serious improvement. Minka se ba wi na minka se ne policies nyina na mpe. And na kwahwe Mali. And na kwahwe Niger. And yema ekoso. Conditions no ye na se ye to aba na yesesa na enye ya. There will be a coup. Take it or leave it. And that has been a position and something Yankopon crab all we issue. Appear motus me that was it. 89 year meka ama. I don't know meka hinsem no manwie na mekoye na meka akwamu ahinsem no. Na me kan say akwamu. Bakonya na bedi no. mewo yansra asefo ene ya abotwe asefo 1500 akwamunya omo first chief nana agent kokobo 1500 nana agent kokobo 1500 nana the first kwafo hene akwamufo hene your friend nana agent kokobo 1500. So from 1500 to 1733 no nyina no ye befa no say yansrefo nko abedi Kofi Akoto ne die akonya no because abedi Kofi Akoto ne die egina akonya abedi ne die ya kasako motiase so moving from Atimokwa to nyina wase no nyina to 1500 nom cross over ha you see ochena be hia me ya se wa twoba you see ya se wa twoba you see what after say ma ya bobo anom where they just for that's what they see ya se wa twoba number. So in 1733 no na omo akuapemfo no ne pam wo mo, and like I said akuapemfo no had support from Achimabuakwa. No na omu wie ye no a omo sign the Bosoma say the Abutachi Accord. Omo ba ha no so no a omo betena ha no na binim wo ho aboabofo no na beye ya abotwe asefo, and they have been alternating nkonya no we di beba badi pa na ye ba ye bedia ba ye bedia na yansere abrade aduana abusua. So first chief 1500 no ono no ye yansere agenkokobo no abrade aduana abusua. Now it came to the point from 1883 to 1992 no kra no babedi no ba ko di 55 years Kwafa Akoto ba ko di 55 years Kwafa Akoto no di 55 years no wo ya abotwa abusuam na maame de ago no free ya abotwe abusuam ma ho ze kwawni bi di bibia meba ho na wo pre wo kwawo meba kwawo wo pre ho meba ho so kakra ware kwawo. So the as you are talking now no Kwafa Akoto no osisia no ya abotwe, and like I said me gidi se ye beto yi no me wa rehemu se in the foreseeable future man wo so muna so me nka se bonisi am ebeba yansere abusuafo no because yansere no Chiramatin bi bedi na Chiramatin free ho na Akoto oi abai nti Akoto we no so free ho a. In fact there was an instance obi diye na me ma me kra from Volta ever but na papa na ya abotwe abusuafo no bia but odi akonya no ema no you have the akwamufo no bia omo whether it is ya abotwe or ya ansere, you all agree, history agrees that aduanafo and okoka binuma asem no bere ma wonka. I am saying that even by 1500 agenkokobo obedi akonya 1500 no o de ba esumenya aduanafo no a agenkokobo kura be ye nana nkanso wa kura bi aduana no 1500 agenkokobo no kura be ye nana because 1300 nyina na obenya aduanafo no bi nti se aduana ni bi ba 1630 1640 ya oh yeah nanachi And some don't want to accept this fact. Some don't want to accept this fact. Whether they will accept it or do not accept it is immaterial. We are learning. I'm moving forward. And perhaps let me close the chapter for Kwamu. Send a meeting about Kwamu for the answer. Kwawu no omo krono anu ananse erroneously me kan se kwawu no ye nkonko nkokko na de nkonko nko kwawufo no population no fakase no ya adanse asantefo in this context ma ura asante wi na masana te na me adanse aka ho adanse asante konongo amachi de dinu achim omo oyi konongo fo no ni agogofo no omo odini bi asante achim good me that's ebinim so ye sechere kwofo no binim ye sechere, and in this context the sechere people are the mampong. Sechere people are the mampong. And obviously I really like history. The sechere people are mampong. So that is the cause. Now, wamo kro, aye wamo ahin kro no, enye nkoko, enye mpraye so, enye nkwatia, enye obome, a friend abini. Wamo ahin kro, traditional, wamo friend no, abini. That is the seat of the tradition. So obome son said de you, mpraye son said de you, nkwatia son said de you, wamo traditional seat. The say abini. Now, wamo si hene da sebre akuamwa, I think a Japan. I think so. No na kwa hene. But whichever way, we dey fan say kwa hene no ye kwa hene ansa na 2025 year. Na yeah, I agree. Yes, I have come across that history. Nyoka say binum so ne doma for one, I agree. I've heard of that fact. I've heard of that, but me probe further. You are right. Me that say any addition there or the claim say woman ne doma for so binum so there are remnants because I know enya omo nyina no omo kwa bia wo obomemfo no ye asumijafo. Ena mampon akrofo sofo nso so bi o enti na Professor Akosa mere bi okopre akonya no bi no. So I mean, yeah, you are right. Well, I agree. But let me go on. Me that say addition there. So I think that separate a Japan no problem was Union or ADB no your board member no MBC na conference by. I don't want to go into that too much, but the bottom line is that I think he had a problem there. And then he later refunded the money to the person. Not just say binumu say ombituno. But near me say in law, so person to man here as a so called the Judicial Committee of the Regional House of Chiefs. So person utu atenankunya na onye man hina who called the Judicial Committee of the Traditional Council. In law, you go to the Judicial Committee of the Regional House of Chiefs. Ubeko Judicial Committee of the Regional House of Chiefs pe na eye man hene asem. Woko the Judicial Committee of the Traditional Council. Na ye akonya substitute klontire jase ankobia a champion apeja we a substitute. That is it. Now woko judicial and the law has recognized another Mranasana jifofobia tumbio. Mranas the invocation of an oath. Mrana giatum. Now, remember the invocation of an oath. Bia bechem kruntri, bechem jase, bechem ankobia, bechem chidom, bechem we. Na obi peso be di kruntri jase ankobia we. Na peso wo challenge ya. One try officially. One try someone so no. But say meka bechem hine mpete ene breme. Meka bechem hine mpete ene breme. Se wodi krontre anajase akonya na enye yi onya de hye. It is an invocation. Mrana gitum. Meka bechem hine mpete ene breme. Mrana gitum. Now, mamen sana mabi, dua ya nkwanta. Meka dua ya nkwanta akwanya fiada. Uka fiada eye ntam. Dua ya nkwanta eye fiada. Emrano be no so de aboso. The traditional it will set up a judicial committee. That is also another form of invocation which has been accepted by the Supreme Court. The ya aduchimwa case. Well, Kenya say, I number 1 and number 2 no confuse me. Ose kofi ho. Ose kofi abru. Ni Kenya say no. Hema no e kantam. So, wabi bebre no ebetima ye paramount chief. But wamo be kantam ama nako anko the judicial committee of the regional churches, but otim kantam meka otum fontam kese e possible mrano gitum manyene ye bedi bi krobi so manyene ora meka otum fontam kese wuntimu nni akonya no onya de joram de apeso e sufficient, and you have that position in the Kenyan case no a ya adutwimwa no case na called the Supreme Court enyame na meka, and therefore say asebisi kumase mpotemu ha na ayakonyasam na kwaka se meka mpotemu ha eso hu ba bia wo so ben bantama wo tafo a osum tafo akonya na se okoka se meka bantama hene ntwoma afata yentam kase pa no meka kyeremu yo na disuade a yesu ntene meka nsa no enya se me bo mitim keke dua ya nkwanta de am kan me mo mitim bechem de na me kan me mo mitim otumfo ntam kase no me mo mitim bantam ahene ntwoma me kan me mo mitim me mo mitim pepe ni ho pen ni ho krata ni ho ehye ha awa wa do onim ga na abakosem atim betenase pepe ni ho pen ni ho krata ni ho bibibi ni ho yanka enye dwa nya ye kire nya homaso. So fast forward, obeti maka say me kata pa hene baako. Ani so yentam. Me kata pa hene baako, ayentam. Me ka kiresia hene agewudin ya woda, ayentam. Me ka kiresia hene agewudin ya woda, ayentam. The law accepts that. Me mo mitim, kan me ka kiro sa. Kan me ka do ma say and we are do ma say kwasi da eyentam me kan we are do ma say kwasi da eyentam eti so obedi bofo krom hino adantie wo kwatire wo hihino ora me kan do ma say hene we are kwasi da say udi krontiri hene anajase anankobia enye yi wonya de hye wo ye donko udi enye yi a invocation, and so the judicial committee must go into that. That is also acceptable. Maybe in future, maybe can in time so a better key in 1 day or so. Because in time so here pa. And then the minimum take crowd that's a band to my hand and time young chuma. That way that next time no me we am chuma na metram in tia by young chuma. But I'm saying it authoritatively say band to my hand and chuma and time a young chuma. Tafo, kumase tafo. Me kata fo hene ntam nla meka Kumasi tafo hene ntam wa eye ntam kese pa anka menum bi anka we ya me ka ntam ho asem ne bisi ha because ntam no de anya asem ketewa wo ntam no anya asem ketewa sana ayifo wo achimabu akwa amsa achimabu akwa ye ukuyada ne mpete uka achimabu akwa ukuyada ne mpeta ne bibisi wo nka wonum bia na na wogunsa enna de na me ka no de ehu pa but addition I am giving education. So like kwa udi no me yirae me sana ba kwa ubi so the omo ye se omo ne be hia omo hia ye ne be ba atu no ne be de hene foforo si so anti kwa umman hene no oko court the regional senemekano a regional house of chiefs judicial committee oh yeah no san application for injunction and womo ejemano I agree. I perfectly agree with the regional house judicial committee no womo ya adwene no because in ahinsam no sahene no nyaya konya no sahene no ntu ono an ho so hene no amodam hene no nwuya akonya bia ne ho vacant sa the akonya no becomes vacant when we have these grounds and the kwawuda sebre akwa mo Japan de no grounds we bia no onwuye ontu no ho so onye we nti akonya no nye vacant. And in law there can never be occasion and nipa mienu ti akonya baako so at a given time, and there should never be occasion and nipa mienu ti akonya baako so at a given time. That is the position of the law. Eti ne kwa wumpa infondi ni si no, you cannot in law say ona ye hene as against that Sebre Akuyamwa Japan. Because that Sebre Akuyamwa Japan is the chief, the paramount chief, the gazetted chief. And once he has been gazetted, there's a presumption. And you're conclusive, irrebuttable. But he has been gazetted. Most of the time, I'm going to say, more for a council, and I'm going to Akuyamwa Japan see him. Mwatu na mamara kwanso amako judicial committee ana dabi oda oni akonya no bi waja di dabi wawu dabi wa abodam dabi enti famra kwanso na si hene famra kwanso na tu hene famra kwanso si hene famra kwanso tu hene. Madase wa wo say aduana history na ye esumija aduana. Yes, I agree. Aduana PSC no esumija. I will just come to that. Yes, me ye kwafo de no. Ngrofo ya be wo sika bebrebe wo Ghana ha ya be birim Geofort ya madam for. Na they say bebre ya menamfo Geofort ya madam for woman Asalam Down Hotel I am namfo second son akotoba amfo no namfo no wo kwafo enas chemist kwafo enti me ka ba konya sama mesro mo ma me ensipo enye sa me namfo no me hia ba be ka say wo kan ya say wan kan wi so they went to the judicial committee of the Eastern Regional House of Chiefs. And yeah, wow, the one me nya gonna say Sumija for Diana PSC no. But was here when no so me no nya gonna. David Drew no we will discuss it. Mama nya sir me free ko for the be free. So when we come we will discuss it. But let me go on. So the House granted the injunction. When the House granted the injunction, abo da sebre akuamwa Japan hon by say the law no agina nachi. Of course that is normal, that is the proper procedure. That is normal, that is the normal procedure because he is the sitting chief. He is the sitting chief. He has not been destooled. He has not abdicated. He has not done this. He is not mentally challenged. So you go on and then you. So for me, it was a very good decision. It was a very good decision. But I'm curious about equity or no bentimi nya people betim. But as to whether say appeal no be ya na nya yi no. And also so the metem na me I've just used it to educate people on the matters of chieftaincy. And right now you say it is say dompo ase hene wo mato no tuo e wa yi bi ase. Which is it's a chief, I believe it is a chieftaincy matter. Abasa dompo ase I stand to be educated. Dompo ase no ne manhene e ye fomena. Adansefo no nyina dompo ase Yesu bogesango omo nyina manhene ye fomena. And therefore dompo ase will be a substool under fomena. And therefore if you want to destool, if you want to prefer charges against dompo ase or the beko fomena judicial committee, or you can invoke Asante from Tamnibia, and which perhaps Edobeba Fomena or Edobeba Manshia. Edobeba Fomena or Edobeba Manshia. That is the chieftaincy. But we need to respect that. Yeah, and yeah, because it's not the best. It's not the best at all. Now, and some also someone the bad regional house. I am on Shannon Cosson Tentem. And some no, I'm the called traditional councillor. I am on Shannon Contentem. And some no, so I'm the call Supreme Court. I am on Shasso na Enco Tentem. Because chieftaincy is a very delicate thing. Chieftaincy is a very delicate thing. So yansha mana nkoso ntentemu a edinsem bebre ebeba. Yeah, obi so say guans and first but not the bono. I'll come down dakro aba mebaho and I'll come with facts and figures. No, enya easy. Enya mre se bibeka se guans na di kanaba. No, one is a guans. Enya simple. You see, that is the mistake I have been in. Se guanfo na di kanaba. Guans no, wom bebre. Te se nia o ka se guanfo no baja bonofo no. Bonofo no wom bebre. And it's all person wunya answer, very good answer. You mentioned guan no kroben. Because my catcher say gonja for a guans, a creapin for a guans. Latte ne bosomase latte ne ukuganumina. My catcher say futu ye guans. So if you say that guans no beja bonoa, me no one yagene. Because the bones also you have some people like the Asiri wamanyini koti wamanyini pa dibebi wamanyini pa namasa wamanyini pa. So I am using this opportunity to educate people. Mokano tra guans the beja bonofo. I won't buy that argument. Abonfo group no bi so beja guans. Guans for group so be specific. we don't do yeah history yeah because some yeah no tra say asantefo ba yache o kan me obribo ahende won kan hwe because there are some people within the Ashanti kingdom now like the Adanse, the Dompoase, the Yesu, the Bogisangono. Now I'm more hokra and sana Santi Eba. Now I'm more ho and sana Santi Eba. Like the Kumawu, but they were there before. So history ni yegusu kono. Ebe man ye first na wunni mu a na utufra no. Ni gusu a mekire wo nyina na ebe man ye na wunni mu a utufra no won tumfra. Won timi ngaka say Guans beja abono. No, I won't agree. Be specific Guan which group? And the Bonono which group? Bonono both area domase and tepim domase no. Enyina no. Abe bae no and tepim domase ye 1606 no bae no. Not the baby num crowd they have been in existence for about 200 to 300 years. Nicotine had been in existence for about 200 years. No, so okay, Mr. So next time, let's take the opportunity. Listen to me. Listen to the lectures I'm giving. Listen to the education I'm giving. Before you can frame your question well. Before you can frame your question well. Well, Mako 55 point something. I got a menya 1 hour. I had it. Lastly, some Makasa Mabra, Memphis MPP as a mom. I've been advising MPP funds at Timdidio, at Timdidio, at Timdidio, Casentrio, at Timdidio. Madase, I say history na me de mamono na ni age ho pa madawase. Timdidio. Now, Mamina we so enna MPP minority for Nasepa. They have been very fantastic. Fantastic. In fact, never in the history of this country, yenya group of politicians be more opposition. Esa say boy and sema wo. Well, obviously, Kumawu Uraso people are the oldest. Well, I don't know. I will have to do a little history. But my me saw machine. You may be right. Maybe a can you may be right. But no, me famous me they get deep. Until me the agent kokobo date in buy. People who were under the impression say I can't phone in no do na phone dey can buy and say that. Because for first chief cry agent kokobo. Because look, say one more time mama who say budget na force na to force in present here no. When wabo ministries bi din kura say ministries no eni ho. Not existing ministries. But ya boni dini ewo budgeting. Blogger, what's the deal? I am so much surprised about this trend of affairs. Why your budget? What they call parliament? Ministry way, your man is kasi ministry way. Ministry nukura ni ho. Some budget no cut and paste or copy. But it's so a binsi we are baby that this is a record one. A binsi we are baby that. Say budget ye no cut and paste. Ye budget cut and paste. Ministry sibia anyhow. And they were able to pinpoint sa be a page way, 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 be a page way. A busy that. And it's so serious. Then another issue was Collins Adomako letter na oyiba ye no a na ode echere wiase nyina se letter we free Ministry of Energy but in the Minister for Finance a kan ye no e budgeting no entesa. It is quite serious. And I think that the MPP minority, they've done well. They've really impressed us. We share our contributions, our submissions, our education. That's wonderful. Upe MPP, umpe MPP, uchire MPP, utan MPP. I say, can you speak English? Yes. But for the purpose of me audience until now here, me am the professor from I'm sorry. But that is the way say me, you know, until me sorry pa my brother. But echo no me the professor fra. My idea pa na omu so amo omu moden na omu enye. And you know, the aspect of NDC Niemabisu, especially Wamo District Assembly Common Fund, they have done well. Ubatana now Caso NDC District Assembly Common Fund, Senevisi the Konubaya dear. MPP Nibitiwa, nada no come. Memtra no make a margino. Make a margino. Memetana hanye. MPP communicator, menya NDC so communicator. Me kasa ma ayimbe kasa emba me ho ene adisuade ene so please when I think that the MPP minority they've done well, but the NDC also as far as the District Assembly Common Fund sene wo musi no I'm comfortable. MPP should have done that. People who messed up things, people who messed up with the common fund, and omuna mona omse baumiana ma MPP for alusi. Ever si say na ma baumiana ma MPP for no alusi. So please, munyai akuti abona tim didie ne kasa ntwi no. Be yemesero, me be say tim yemesero. So after 31st January no, Mamma did the attempt now and found a mobile. Where will you go? What will you do? Where will you go? What will you do? Can you decide to join the winning team? And which, of course, I believe that the winning team is the Baumia's team. Baumia is going to win. That is my personal position. You may disagree. You may disagree. Yeah, somebody has asked me about honey. Yes, may I say. In fact, as far as the Bono region now and the Bono East, no your concern. Bono Manson, Hani, Koti, di baby Asri. Wamunu na ye wamunu wa wamanyini pa. Bono Manson, then Hani, Koti, the baby Asri. A better bit more because it's the Hani people who joined the Nsiatre. And the Hina Frankfurt was around 15 something. Onokra omutu free Hani. Ebehwehwe Nsiatre Yesu anenso Yasiatre no. That was 15 something. And then Hina Frankfurt asefo no kura etu aba. Na just say Hani was there around 13 14. It is a meka na masa na meka na miure fi Hani a miure eni di bebia. Miure ne fie. Miure ne fie nya boapaye. I mean say history no there. Untimi enye, but the bottom line is that as far as the Hafo region is concerned there, it looks like the Bono unkro no bebre baja Hafo kura kuredi kanabai. Bono unkro no bebre baja Hafo kura first one eba Hafo no kura na obeka no Bono unkro no bebre. So the kwaudia no me dey aba wie say na match. I think it is fair. Let's respect the institutions. Let's respect the structures. Na institutions no anya adwuma. Ebe wie no ebama otumfo Santehene akwaba. Oko Suriname, oko Barbados. And you know a lot of history. So there was a slave woman be 1660. Omadene koya na near dren or my revolution kraba Jamaica. And then Jamaica sikano. Jamaica sikano. Yeah, the niti ne photo ne da so 1660, yes, around 1660. She was very bold. She caused a lot of uprisings in Jamaica. Into Jamaica minus sikano niti ne da so. And she was an Asante. She was from the present day. Samre na Asante my present day Asante. As a Bauli for no amaka so mfin sutano. Omo present day Asante. So yama Asante hene akwaba. And the other day I said something. I'm say trended past him. I say Asante hene ko occasion biya we asia. Oso ba ya na no omo ko KNUST no. Ntoma na odi ko KNUST no. First time I ofra no. Oko ho ntoma ofra ye nyina chi. Oba ya afie da no mko KNUST no. First time ofra ene sa ntoma no. Ofra wie di ansa na watime ofra biu. But so free Suriname number bedru ye no KNUST no. Asante history, Asante culture, Asante traditional. Ntoma na ofra no mono wo Suriname Barbados nyina no. Mara mano kwane. Asante amamra mano kwane ma ofa nko KNUST na no no. Nti KNUST okoye no mono no wawie obetime fra for any other occasion ebia otenase wo manhyi afan o ne mpemfo tena fine but a grand deba David Ashanti history, Ashanti tradition, Ashanti culture no on to me infra santomano. Lastly, we will observe a mini silence for Nana Jimankwadu. Yes, she was a very fantastic figure. For me, Nana Jimankwadu nema ma bebre ni J politics. Oye nipa. Nti yedanya biya yam from Subi. Because she was very bold. Manu bebre ya politics. Na ye nimse makra bebre ni be 31st December women movement. She did well. Even if she see necessary. But until so 100%. No shortcomings. But I admire her boldness. I admire her boldness. And on this occasion, Mumami streamline the murder of the judges, you know. The murder of the 3 judges and the retired Army General. No? Na Oshe Commissioner Omiti no investigation no. No kre sa mate kwenu nkoje safoa no every mame kunadu ajeman ho. But if you read Yidane's book very well, it will not be fair to link Ajaman Kunadu to the murder of the judges and the retired. It will not be fair. Omako bisa Safano or say Safani. No be aje Safano or Mako any Omanya. It will not be fair to include Ajaman Kunadu so can be Mene Omanya Ajane. She was bold. She was articulate. Looking at the history of this country, Ajaman Kunadu Nema. As a Kwadwa Lanchra Martina Ma Yumubia and so we when she was the Minister for Trade, you know, Ufrasia share Ghana Medana Ma Medi I am a corner broso. So anytime about to say within everywhere, every place. And you come on say, oh, my botai and others and me courtroom. Me call program kasi kra ma call program bebre wa bruchira ebinom di sutra na me de within ntoma aye say between June, July, August, September me kwa buchira. So ajima krandu na me fan but ani minim se bia BBC no mpori ho ni krom ho da me dia me madwene mum ene se edu ba bia nipa no panyimu no wu a ba bia ofri no mama enkosie no ho why is panyini wu a but I'm extremely happy said that the gomba for na ma yansie aluma ha ma won kran I'm extremely happy said when chifu ama yansie kofi abrofa buzia wo enkran I'm extremely happy. And that is my perception. But I don't think that sabi man osumuna so. Sabi ka frachu me sabi. Ajekum kofo be wu a wo se ebesi no wo. Dabi. Akufu adoko wu a wo se yensie no. Dabi. Dabi. Yes, I was a chipota ho na otafre. We must be happy about that legacy. Well, I'm entitled to my views. Obi also entitled to my views. Madam Ase from Hamburg. I wonder why Nana Obrubayan was not allowed to hold position in Nanado's government. Well, Sadamano, no comment. Mechia Miamina apia Belgium. Mechia George, Belgium. Mechia Kofian Ponsan, Germany. Mechia Anopoku, Muham, Germany. Mechia Sachere Bristol. Nipa no mechia Askwadu mia meba me second born Askwadu in the US. Askwadu mechia Askwadu so mechia manfo bebre mama ya mechia ma wa fin shapa as you do birthday in land in UK mama ya tanoso me mo fin shapa I greet all friends mama anti mammo de ni de me kasa me ka Kwame Ata, mechia Kwame Ata so. African market. African market no Muheim mechia also so. Mechia nipa bebre. I mean, if I want to mention names, ebe Gunta, menim nia Gunta was say. Mechia mo bebre, mechia obi a mesro. Wa mantima modin. Wa Iraq no. Also mechia opa and we are welcome at all times, but to whom me manager no the number because I don't give out my number like that. Sabi nyedwe na yemi. Sabi Mr. Meka nyedwe na yemi. For some reasons, sometimes you bring your number no my friend na mo kan sabi nsemuhunu o kano nsemuhunu to hear from you about the reality of the Bono and the Asante. Why do you concentrate on Bono Asante? Why don't you want me to talk about the Gonja and Mamprusi? The Dagati and the Lobis? The Asebu people and then the Hanta people? I don't think I'll talk about the Bono Asante. You know, with due respect, I won't. For some reasons best known to me. Why don't you allow me to talk about the gangs? And the lower and the menya krobo. If you the Angolans, you know, one particular group of people are me Pewamasempa Angolon. The Biameka Angolon should have been a kingdom, but unfortunately, and to me, Anyasa. Thank you very much. Well, see me educated letter of administration, maybe next week when I come. But the money I say, Yamin can be so my services are available. Like I said, your company, Abronia Investment Company. Abronia Investment Company. We deal in a lot of things. We can assist you to get legal support. Lawyers don't advise. So it's a private company. You want to acquire a building, you want to acquire land, you want to go into business, whatever. It's our company, Abronia Investment Company. Shareholder. It's not me enough as a kwamba for Abronye. Kwamba for Abronye, the Abronye Communications. But in your win, America saw on your office, I am warfare. We tune for the BS moon attempt the day it will not serve. If you want to sell your message, sell your message. Me better na have me attempt the day and come on top. Can you make on monto? nso ne me tonomato if we say atendidi enim anya kwa mbafonko obi a atendidi enyia atendidi enyia. Sometimes you can have a nice way to present your case. Me go ka say President Mahama nemrim ato forcing NDC for nemrim be your budget e dey ja 30,000 shil. I mean you are hitting below the belt. No serious government to do that. Somebody may think that it is an attempt. Somebody also may think that a straight talk. But it's a straight talk, any attempt. Well, which part of the world over to say there is 30,000 say abanish obesity 30,000. And then do it assembly to cry no private you know CCTV. So you don't capture it in the budget. Well, then I hope was which here we are